Hey everyone, I hope you're having an excellent whatever time of the day you're listening to this is. Um, this is like the continuation of my first intervention here on this forum, in which I approach the Enlightenment ideals in the uh, Latin American society, and the important role that the translators played back then. It's unmeasurable, actually, um, and notorious their efforts, trying to diffuse the Enlightenment ideals in the region, and magnificent and well deserved the status that they gained back then. That's the case of Andres Bello. I'm gonna take his example particularly. Um, he was born in Caracas, Venezuela in 1781, and he died in 1865. He was a well known poet, philosopher, and diplomat who is until nowadays considered one of the most influential figures in Latin America literature and education. He translated a wide range of works from English, French, and Italian to Spanish, including works by Voltaire and also. But undoubtedly, he is best known for founding La Universidad de Chile in 1843. He was devoted to share his knowledge in philology, history, law, etc. But yes, definitely various translations help disseminate the Enlightenment ideal throughout Latin America. And I took his example precisely because there was one of his students or apprentices that was later to become an essential figure for independence and emancipation in the region. Someone who would later be known as El Libertador, talking about Simón Bolívar. That's how far the work of Andres Bello was back then. And I cannot just turn a blind eye to the work of Antonio Nariño, a Colombian translator, and very famous for his translation of the Déclaration des droits de l'homme et du citoyen in 1794. Maybe back then he didn't envision the consequences of such act because it costed him years behind the bars and exile in Spanish North Africa. But he knew what he was doing, only that he didn't, he didn't get to consider like the whole picture after printing the copies of this declaration being translated. But yeah, eventually it made him part of the translation milestone in the history of Hispanic America. And the seriousness of this event does not only rely on the mere fact of giving life to this text from one language to another, but even more important than that was that the time when he dared to do so, with all the political and military tension going on, that's just admirable. So without translation and translators, and I'm quoting Alfredo Echeverria, Colombian writer, who said, without translation and translators, it would have been so hard to reach the globalization of the Declaration of the Human Rights. Thank you for your time.